Hello everyone, I'm Vishesh Vaibhav, and right now we're doing the last lab, that is the 8th lab. So if you are completing this, you will be completing with Gen AI. So we'll now only be left with Google Cloud Computing Foundations. That's an amazing thing, right? Alright. So we'll start the lab. Make sure you only start it once you have time to complete it. So I click the buses that I can see. Anymore? No. And then it should start the lab for me. No. I'll open Google Cloud Console. I'll copy the password because okay, I need to copy this also. Okay, then I'll copy the password and I'll paste it and click next. Amazing, I should get this. So let's just talk about this while it opens. So now we'll use everything that we did. You remember the cloud vision, analyzing images and everything that we did. Now we'll do it by ourselves. It's not giving us step-by-step information to do it. So I challenge you to do it by yourself. So if you're able to do it, you'd be doing yourself a favor and understanding the things. But if not, I'll do it for you. Alright, so we'll start it with this. So okay, so we'll just verify our resources first. So what we need to do, we need to create an API key. And if you remember what we did, we went to API and services, we went to credentials, and then we went to create credentials. We create an API key, and then it will take some time, like 10 seconds or so, but then it would create an API key for us, right? It gave us an API key. We'll copy it, and then we'll come here and we'll check our progress, and we should get a API key. Now we need to create a .json file. So either you can go ahead to the compute machine or do it in a Linux instance, or you can do it with me. So I'll click activate cloud shell. I'll make this bigger for us to see, and then click continue, and then we'll just wait for a few seconds. Alright, so this is now loaded. Now what do we need to do first? So the first thing that I always advise people, and people have been facing problems because of this, is we export API key. We'll write export API key. Make sure you type it like this, and then I'll click show key, and I'll click copy, then I'll click paste, and then this. It should not give you a response, but this should be your ideal step. Now when you have done this, I'll go back to, now it's asking me to create a request.json file. So I hope you remember how we did it. Nano request.json, and I've already explained what all of this means, so I'm not explaining it, but I hope you really understood what we talked about, and we'll do that. I'll just move myself here. Alright, so now we'll do that, and let us see what else it is asking for. So we need a GS image URI, right? We need this. So how do we get this? Okay, so there's a really fast way to do this. So what you can do is, so we need to add your bucket image to the GS image URI. So it has already uploaded an image for us, and we don't need to do anything, but what we need to do is we need to update a JSON file with this. So there's a faster way to do this. Click here for hint, and it would place you to a different URL. Just go there, and then once you are here, okay, we also need to make sure that our bucket is public. I don't know if we have to do that in this, but alright, this should work. We need to update the JSON file, and once we do that, we can go here and just see what it types. So it's just an easier way to do it rather than going all the way. So just copy this, or just copy it till here. Alright, just go back, and then there's also one thing that we need to do. Go to the navigation menu, go to cloud storage, go to buckets, and you would see that they have already created a bucket for you, and that's a good thing that you don't need to create it again. And then what you need to do is, you've already copied it, remember? Now we need to do is, we need to go to edit access, and then after you edit it, remember how we gave it a public access? We'll click public, and then we'll click save, and this would give it a public access. Now this is the image we are talking about. So this is the image that it has. Let's just see a public URL that what is the image we will be working on. This is the image we'll be working on. Alright, amazing. And now what we need to do is, we can copy this. Either you can copy that, or you can just copy this one. So once you copy this, what you need to do is, you need to go back, and you just need to go back and just need to open this again, and then once you are here, just use your arrows to go upwards, and once you're here, click backspace and just paste it. So make sure they are in inverted comma, like in these quotation marks. I'll just do it right here, and make sure there's a comma at the end so it knows what we are talking about. Alright, and then we'll go to type and just see what type we need to work with. So we'll come back here, and it is asking us to, okay, it's just not asking us anything, but we need to, and first use text detection. Alright, this is what we need to use. So I'll click this, I'll go here, and then I'll paste text detection, make sure it is in inverted commas, and then making sure there is a comma after this, and then I'll click, remember, Control X, Y, enter. Alright, this was done. And now I'll make a curl request. We already talked about what a curl request is. So I'll make a curl request, and there's a mistake that I made. The mistake that I made was I have not replaced it with my JSON name, which is request.json. So I'll come back here, I'll write request.json because that is our name of our JSON file, and I'll click enter. It should give us the response that we are anticipating. Alright, it gave us a response, and this was the text detection. So what are the texts that we have in the image, in this image? So there's this property, Paris, and everything. So it gave us a text of what it was written, Paris and everything. Great, amazing. The next thing that we need to do is we need to save it somewhere. So how do we save it? We again copied this part, the next one, and then we are saving it, but make sure that you edit it to request.json, and this should save your file somewhere. So I did that, and this is saved my file. Now we'll to output this to the cloud storage. And how do you do that? You just copy it, you just paste it, and don't make any changes here, and you need to authorize. I'll authorize, and this should send my file there. And now if I click check my progress, I should be good to go. Right, I should be. And then while it's happening, I'll come back here, I'll write nano, I just go, or just if you don't want to write, just go back, nano request.json. We're not deleting it because this time it's the same thing. We just need to change it to landmark detection. So we'll write landmark, or you can just copy paste it. So landmark detection, make sure it says something like this. I click Control X, Y, enter, and then I'll come back here, and we'll do the same thing. We'll make sure you copy this and you don't use the same command, because right now we are using a different file name. So what I do is I'll copy, and then we'll come back here, and then just go back, and now when you are here, you'll write request.json, and when you write this, you should get the response, which is nothing, and then you need to go back, you need to run this. Alright, this should do it, and I'll come back, I'll check my progress, and this should say that I have completed my lab. And this is all that you had to do in this lab. But there's one thing that you need to understand that we did. So either you can read all of that and understand, but I'm just going to explain it in a quicker way. Right, so this is where we are. So first, we are doing the things that we have already done, like creating an API, then going to the cloud storage buckets and seeing if it is already updated, making it public like we did in the first lab, and then we are just copying its URI so that we can use that while calling it just here, and we are just using some nano commands that we discussed, what it is, how do we do that, and this is what it does. So it is giving us the response we want, and you can check if it is real. You can see what are the different languages it detects and everything there is to know. And now once you do that, you can also run to curl the landmark detection one we hadn't run. You can just run that and see if it really works. So I'll just remove this part, and just if I run it, it would give me the landmarks. Okay, it's the Central Pompidou, it's the Porte Saint Martin, and a lot of things. So it's just getting a lot of landmarks it's not really sure of, so it doesn't really get what it is, but it's trying to guess from that. And you can see the score is 0.7, 0.7. So how sure it is gives us that. So definitely we have completed this lab. So if you have done this, you can end your lab, and voila, let me just do that. And voila, you have completed your Gen AI. So congratulations on completing Gen AI, and you should be seeing something like this. You can subscribe here, but you have already been subscribed, so you don't need to do that. But if you want to subscribe, you can just enter your GDSC email and you would be subscribing to it. So that's all, and thank you so much for completing Gen AI. And now we'll be releasing the videos for Google Cloud Computing Foundation so we can complete it. Thank you.